The Mossburn Country Park. Beautiful Saturday morning. Quite a few bikepackers here. So I definitely recommend Mossburn Country Park. If you need to camp in Mossburn, it's really the only option. Or the hotel. Hotel doesn't allow camping. Here we go. I'm going to go out to this highway here and then back to town. Coming up on the Dome Cafe that's always featured in the videos. I think I'm going to parallel 94 here on my right till the turn to Winton, which I am not taking. I'll just go straight and that'll take me right into Garston. If I was finishing the TA, this would have been a really good finish because it looks like it's pretty much downhill. As you can see, gorgeous. The track's in good shape. I think this is where you would turn to go to Invercargill. I'm going to continue straight, I believe. Got the freeway on the one side and then been paralleling the Oturahua River. I'm not sure what it's called or how you pronounce it. Gravel, baby. Ever since yesterday I got on the Around the Mountains trail. Super great gravel. So now we're coming up to Bixter Road. History placard about a hotel that used to be here and railroad near accident, but I just rode through this pine section. It's not very long, but it's very pretty. And you just see all the sheep react to me. As usual, they're scared of me. There's so many of these gates. I mean, well, I think I'm going to be going through a lot of them. Signs on these gates say leave them as you found them, rather than the gate must be closed at all times. Harawa, tea room. Sorry, all the traffic. Built in 1878. Crossing Ayre, A-Y-R-E, Creek. Wow, pavement. This must be Athol. It's about 2:26. I'm still at Athol. That's how you say it, A-T-H-O-L. I stopped here at the Westmeet after the restroom down the street. Got a Coke and Cola, and I decided to get a what they call a hoagie. It's interesting they call this a hoagie, but it's a flatbed sandwich. But I'm happy for whatever they call it. It's really good. I just learned from experience that, you know, this is only 12K further south, and it's better to get, when I know I can get food, just get it. So I ended up getting that sandwich that I was going to take with me, but it was so good. I had to like eat part of it to make it fit in the bag because it was hanging out of the bag they gave it to me in, and then it was just so good. I ate the whole thing. I think this is the two suspension bridges that it mentions in the route. Hi there. Hi. Good, good. Hey guys. Hi. Hi. More hops. Garston. I would feel like coffee. So this is a honey stop. And across the street is a hotel and cafe. I think that's a cyclist on the icon. Yeah, there's not much here if this is Garston. So now I'm on Highway 6 for a short distance, and I start and I hit the climb immediately. Ski hut's almost going to be at the top of this climb. Sorry, there was a gate there I went through. Almost at the top. This load of trucks. I'm very happy that I was here with the gate. Hector Mountains Conservation Area. So there it is. It's not the top of the climb, but it's perfect for me today. Wow. This is awesome. Rock trails. Not going there. Quite a view from the toilet. Wow. Made it. Here's the view now. It's almost 7 o'clock. Sun goes down at 7:40, I believe. No one else is here except for that car. And I'm just letting my tent dry out, which I think is pretty much done. I'm going to pull that in before it gets humid again, or condensation. Yeah, really nice. This is going to be awesome. Yeah, it looks like they just gave it a fresh coat of paint. And then in here is some more. There's my bunk there where I'm going to stay, since that's the mattress. And I've spread out to keep my stuff there in case someone comes by. airing out my sleeping bag, which I'll move over, and then I am filtering some water from the tank, which looks to be a rain. That's where the water's coming from. I'm going to filter it. I don't know if I'm going to boil it. I do have some chlorine tablets. So end of day 1 on the Sound the Sounds, and day 22 I think on the TA. See you tomorrow. Sun's not coming up till 8 o'clock now here, if my watch is correct. This gentleman here in this pickup pulled up about 7 a.m. Didn't come in the cabin. Maybe just out for a day hike. Anyway, it's drizzling. I'm going to start. I know I have to continue my climb to the summit. I'm pretty close. I don't know if I'm at the top or not. I got to be close to it. I've gone 1.5 kilometers and 123, 125 meters. Approaching the second summit. This might be the full summit because I didn't see anything at the other one. So this is my second crossing, and with the rain, the water is obviously rising, so I think I'm going to be getting wet. Oh boy, look at this track. Yeah, this is bumpy. Not like yesterday's gravel, which was nice and smooth. Doesn't look too bad. I can maybe walk across this one. I just walk this. I don't want to slice a tire. And so it continues. Probably going to cross this creek multiple times. Well, I hope they let me pass. Ha! Ha! Thanks, appreciate it. The way to look at this is it could be much worse. It could be pouring rain, torrential, and I might be stuck out here. So I'm very grateful. And it's not peanut butter mud. Oh, thought I had Nevis River. Oh, interesting. Is it the river it's crossing? Please close the gate. Oh, I thought that was like Trail Angel water. Traveling right alongside the Nevis River. Whoa! Saw that coming. I don't know how Garmin can call this a yellow climb. I can't ride this. I'm in the Remarkables? Huh. But I think this might be Lower Nevis. I'm pretty much in a valley now and it's very flat so far. Okay, I just passed a sign. It said Lower Nevis Township. I think this is where Edna stopped. Just some placards here about all the mining that was done. Living in the Nevis. Harvesting the Nevis. Wow, Lower Nevis settlement, 1863 to 1953. Bit of history there with the gold mine and the town itself. Okay, just past Ben Nevis station and getting ready to start to climb. If I'm walking, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a while. This is really tough, this climb. It's a lot of elevation in a short distance. The climbs are very punchy. Kind of like Middle Earth or something, doesn't it? And there's the lower Nevis, or the Nevis Valley, from whence I came. Okay, there it is. Duffer's Summit or Saddle. Stopped a few times. Rode all of it except for one small section that was really steep. A lot of the really steep stuff was on the beginning, that first third, but it's still steep, don't get me wrong. Just had an awesome descent. Got about 2 kilometers left. Once you exit the dirt, you got about 5 kilometers on this paved road into town. This is pretty amazing here. It's quite a, I mean, I haven't pedaled at all. There's a little bit of a hill once you exit the dirt, but after that, it's been downhill. Just doing some climbing here. Just came up from the lake. All these beautiful people sitting eating wine. Just following the river. Right along the, I think it's a river or lake. State Highway 6 across the river there. Oh yeah, here's this little cycleway. Woo! Exciting. Kind of built into the rock. Ah, man, this wind sucks. So this is the main section. Very long. Wow. So I'm doing this switchback climb. It's really quite steep. I've climbed up from there. I mean, that's how much I've climbed. That's crazy. Okay, heading out from my camp spot from last night, not too far from Alexandra. Even closer to Clyde, but I'm just going to continue on to Alexandra because I think Clyde is 1 kilometer off the trail. So this is a little challenging. You make a wrong turn here, you're gone. This is what I'm riding for miles. I guess since I'm paralleling State Highway 6, you could bypass this and go on the highway. As a matter of fact, that's what Google wanted me to do when I wanted to get to Clyde. Google actually doesn't have this trail on its map as of this recording, I don't think, because I launched it a couple times and the map didn't show the trail and it didn't know where I was. Okay, here's the end of the lake. And there's a big dam here. Wow, that's huge. Good morning. How you going?
Good.
Just meandering my way to Alexandra. Wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. There's the bridge, I guess. Crossing the bridge into Alexandra. So I took my bike here to Henderson's. He can't take it today, so he referred me to Will Cycle, which is on the cycle trail. And Will can take it. Took a near 0 day to get the bike fixed. Front brake was had a leak in it and had to be re-bled and fixed. Will Cycle on the bike trail, a different bike trail, ended up fixing it, did a really good job. Really happy with his service. But what's great about the Alexandra Motor Lodge is it's right across from Henderson Cycle. If you need service, he wasn't able to service my bike yesterday. One of the customers recommended Will Cycle, so I was able to go there. And it's also next to New World, the grocery chain. It's a really big store too. We have a little barbecue area here if you want to hang out there. Yeah, so here goes the 2-bedroom place I got. There's the kitchen there, a shower, stall, and bathroom are right over there. And I got a kitchen table, a little dinette, TV with some satellite. You got 2 twin beds in here. There's my bike getting ready to go. And you have a queen in here. You have another bed here. So if you're like 3 to 4, even 5 cyclists, you can, it's really economical to stay here if you need to. So power in numbers. Today is pretty much this rail trail. Nice town, pretty much has everything you need. It's kind of like a drive-through town because I believe I'm on State Highway 6. So many bridges you cross on this route. Opega Central Rail Trail. And these old bridges, this is one of the older ones actually. We have another 15 to the town. It's all good. Creek Tavern. About the 24-kilometer mark, and there's a shelter here. Well, you gotta go. You gotta go. The station.
Well, that's why we can get them up and go.
Oh, it looks like the old rail station. The old rail platform. More e-bikes. Here from a distance, this looks pretty old, but pretty contemporary. Louder. Station Side Cafe. Oh, look at that, I didn't know it was there. One of the many railroad trestles you go across. This one looks like it's been reinforced with steel. I think I'm about 20K from tonight's destination. Just after the bridge. Climbing a little bit. But look at this view out to the valley. Ah, I didn't know there was a tunnel here. I gotta get my light out. I see the other end. Tunnel number 13. Oh, there's the other tunnel. Quite unique up here. Look at this. Another bridge. These bridge boards are a little rickety, a little nervous. At one end of these bridges and tunnels, there's picnic tables. So if you want to stop and take in the view, you can do that. Guess it's the Ida Valley. About 4 kilometers till the end of the route. There's been several of these along the way. Okay, we made it. There's the Railway Hotel. I gotta get an ice cream. I should eat first. Just rolled into town. I stopped at the Gilchrist General Merchants. Kind of an eclectic store. Got a lot of old stuff in there, antiques. Looks like knickknacks from the period. Here's the Railway Hotel and a cafe or restaurant. Here I am at the Crow's Nest. There's another bike packer here. He's going the same direction I am. That's the kitchen in there, and then to the left is the shower, the building in the middle. There's another shower over there. Kitchen, like I said. And this is my abode for tonight. I think I'm gonna just cook up some ramen. Good morning. Here we are at the Crow's Nests. Just about to head out to do the big climb of the day. I think it's Will at the bike shop told me it's the last big climb of the ride, more or less. Met Philip from Germany. Probably tag team a little bit today. We're both going the same direction. And I believe they have a cabin here. You can rent at least one if you want the privacy of a cabin. But we just camped here and it was awesome. Morning. Hi. Good morning.
Just heading off or?
Yes, just heading off over the saddle.
Where are you going to today?
Omarama?
Omarama.
Omarama.
Oh, you're going over this way?
Yeah.
Not coming down?
No,
You're going
going north. Yeah, going opposite of most people. I'm good. I know you'd probably need it, but so here we go, turning on to Hill Creek Road, starting the climb. Gorgeous morning, a little chilly. That's Philip from Germany. It's like day 56 for him. He did the TA. Look at all those sheep. They look like, not flowers, but you know, like some kind of, I guess, flower, for lack of a better word, on the side of the hill there. No need to run. Okay. As you can see, it looks like I'm going into that. Unfortunately, turning on to Hawkdon Runs Road. Beware of sheep.
So here you go, you're right?
Yeah, I'm good. That's it. That's it. Doing my own sheep herding. Awesome. Wow. A little slow going now. Wish there was one of those shelters out here. Sit down and eat. Just came from there. And I'm heading across that road there. For a pretty cool place to stop. I was in dire straits. Here goes probably the first of many crossings. I think it said 29. Actually, I'm probably better off riding it now that I think about it. long as I can miss the big rocks. This is where I turn. Yep. Good. I don't want to go over those mountains there. On the left onto Broken Hut Road. Chunky road, as you can see. I'm at almost kilometer 37. So here's an example of it being pretty chunky. Oh shit. Okay, here's another one. I haven't gone very far. They're only getting bigger. Okay, this is Boundary Creek Hut. So this is Boundary Creek Hut. I've done about half of the climbing. I don't want to go in, someone's in there. So I just wanted to show you the hut. It's smaller than the other one. I think it still says 8 bunks. Looks like there's water there. It's just turned into a rock bed. And I can't really ride this. Just saw a sign, probably a kilometer from the other hut, and it said top hut is 7 kilometers away. Coming up the big hut. How you going?
Maybe I try to start to make some. He's really looking for the next time to go out. We just make an appointment that he's coming in my hunting area in Germany.
Okay, just leaving Top Hut. Just started raining. I've just started the last part of the climb. Rode half of this, and I've just been walking because it's too steep for me to, I can't even get back on the bike and start. Yeah, so I'm walking, too chunky, too steep. So I made it to the top. I pretty much pushed it 98%. This is pretty much what the other side looked like in terms of the surface. I'm about 2 miles from the, I'm about 2 kilometers from the car park. This is a really nice section. You gonna move? Yeah, go join your buddies. Here we go. So I'm about 3K out of town. It's been pretty much a gradual downhill. So it's a little after 9 o'clock. I'm just outside the Foursquare grocery market in Omarama. And now I'm on the Alps to Ocean trail, I believe. Okay, I've come out to a road, and I believe I'm on this for about 12K. So here's this quail burn, 8 kilometers into the ride. It's a little coffee shop. It says it's open. Would have been so much better than sitting out front of the, looks like it might even be self-serve. Just having a nice conversation with Philip there. He waited for me. Rode with him for a couple kilometers. Conservation Park. Okay, just came up there, and right here you turn, and I'm at 24.25 kilometers. And you get on this single track. Looks like it's downhill for a little bit, but the biggest climb is still coming. There was a sign there that says you are 19 kilometers from the lodge, which I think is the only accommodations in that area. There is no gas station, there is no store. Going down. Gets this chunky a little smoother, but it's kind of chunky near the top here. Switchbacks. So now I'm on the descent. Getting bounced around a lot. About 6 kilometers from the end of the route. I should have put my waterproof socks on because I got water on my shoe now next to my foot from the on my right side here. I was rubbing against these, you know, type of weeds on the right, and they were just collecting the water and putting them into my shoe. And it's a nice section, just on the last 2 kilometers, and it's very serpentine. Just leaving the lodge. I think the German guys are gonna stay there. They both camped outside last night, so I think they're over the wet. I've basically gone 6 kilometers. And then over here is Lake Middleton. We're camping. Okay, just finishing up a late lunch. I was looking for a place to sit down and eat my pie that I got this morning. I found it here. Just turned off the road after the 8 kilometers, and now I'm going to be on a gravel path. There's signage for the Alps to Ocean. You're not going to get lost if you just look at the sign, so it wants me around this way. Okay, so far I'm on this really nice cycle track. It's still part of the Alps to Ocean track. Really nice gravel. And good visuals too. Basically just circumventing the lake. So we're heading this way, and I think I've got about another 1.5 kilometers before something changes in terms of the length of this trail officially. Extreme dangerous. Cyclists do not attempt to cross lake when water is spilling from the lake. So if it goes over this, oh, my legs are burning because I haven't done any uphill climbing. It looks like we're going to get on a road of some type. So I've been on this canal road for a little bit. It says I still have 5 kilometers to go. 1-lane bridge. The GPX file I downloaded from Facebook has me staying on Glen Lynn. The official Alps to Ocean is this gravel, which I'm pretty much just running next to it. Okay, there's the 4 square. That's important. Good morning. It is Friday, April 4th, and I am still in, where am I? Twizel. Just left the bike shop. Just going to Lake Tekapo, which will be a relatively short ride. I want to say it's only like 30 miles, if that. And I booked a hostel tonight. It was 25 euros. And the reason I did it is because tomorrow is a big day. If I go all the way to Point Pleasant, that's over 100K. But the point is, it just gets me out earlier and quicker. Kilometers to Pukaki, to Lake Pukaki. Just crossing this plain. This is not flat anymore. Nice downhill. Christmas tree alley. Okay, there was a Alps to Ocean sign there, said I just went through the pine forest. I guess this is State Highway 8 I've come back out onto. No, this is the spillway, the dam. 8.5K to Haven Road. Just riding along the lake. Pulling away from the lake. And there's a little car park here with some picnic tables. Man, it is windy. If you're going the other direction and you want a tailwind, boy, do you have it. Wow. Okay, we're getting on Haven Road. I mean, I'm going downhill and I have to pedal to keep moving. Whew, yeah, so I'm in the middle of the climb. It's a tough climb. I'm gonna call this the top. Garmin says I still have a little bit further. Pretty strong fish smell. So much for canceling out the headwind. That's why it smells like fish. Private property, cyclist and pedestrian access only. Enjoy your visit. No kidding about the high wind. The canal's veered to the left a little bit. The wind's coming from here, so now I'm in a side wind. 2.7 kilometers, I'm going to make a turn onto Canal Road, which I think I'm technically still on. Neville said that they line the canal like back in the 90s. There's the power plant. This has to be my last pass-through thing. There's a spillway. Oh, restaurant and bar, like that. Looks like the helicopter thing's a big thing here. The hostel that I'm staying at is out of town a little bit, which is good and bad, I guess. Beautiful evening. A lot of people out. Just going to treat myself to a restaurant meal. You got a little friend here. So here's a little kitten. Checking everything out. Good morning. Just leaving Lake Tekapo. We're going over Mackenzie Pass, and it says there's a water crossing, river crossing, it says. Oh. Right now, State Highway 8 is pretty light with the traffic. Just turned on to Halden Road. Beautiful landscape, and the weather doesn't look that good that way, but I'm turning onto Mackenzie Pass Road and it looks a little better this way. I think I'm almost at the top. Yeah, that is it's the highest point of the day. Headed down from Mackenzie Pass. Oh, rumble, rumble, rumble. I haven't seen anyone back here other than some I assume they're conservation people collecting the trash. Ooh, that's nice. Buttery smooth gravel. Askin Road. Ford course is heavy four-wheel drives only, 3 kilometers ahead. Okay, there's my warning. Okay, coming up on the fjord. Oh, that's not bad, I don't think. It's actually not bad, except for there's this one hole here. Once I get across that, and it's also where the current's really strong. That's the toughest climb of the day. You kind of see the mist coming over. Okay, I made it to cave. I didn't really shoot much. It was pretty miserable, as you can tell. So I didn't really film much into Pleasant Point because it's pretty much just a straight shot. There is a gravel path which just abruptly ended. 15 kilometers, primarily downhill. So I'm on my way to the domain. I think there's a supermarket here. Wow, this looks bigger than I thought. Railway Hotel, it's kind of neat. And of course our Foursquare, which we love. So I popped in at the dairy. That's where you register for the campground. And she gave me a key for the kitchen. It was 35, she said, so it's 15 to camp. She said if I wanted to, I can camp anywhere, just not on the sports pitch. Good morning, here I am at Pleasant Point Domain Campground. Really nice. 15 bucks, I think, $20 for a deposit for the kitchen key. The facilities were good, and it's almost 8 o'clock. The clock's changed tonight, which is good. Gets me back into the sun coming up at 7 as opposed to 8. Nice little gravel path. It's almost 9 o'clock. On my way to Geraldine, which should be a relatively easy ride. Gonna stop and have a cup of coffee at least. Geraldine, 16 kilometers. Yes, I'm on Seven Sisters. I know there's a Foursquare here, hopefully a cafe. Vintage Car and Machinery Museum. Wow, this is pretty busy. Military Museum, huh? So just leaving Geraldine. Pretty cool town, actually. What was it, the Running Duck I stopped at? Really good. I'm alongside a canal or something. It's not a lock. It's not waterfalls. I think the last number I saw was like number 8, and I think I nosed them at number 12. So we're definitely doing a climb because the water's going downhill. Okay, turning on to Lower Downs Road. And it's going to turn to gravel, which is not a bad thing. Just turning off of Bennett. Oh goodness. Bennett was paved, then went gravel for a little bit before you turn off onto this. Seem to be up on some kind of levee. Sun came out for a little bit, which was nice. Hi there. Sheep. I just moved my hand and they freaked out. Gonna get dusted here. And rocks kick up. Lower downs, this gravel here is quite sloshy. Ardendale, Rakaia Gorge. Yes, I will turn left. So it's actually off the highway a little bit. Good morning from the Mount Summers holiday park. Camping was $20. I just camped over here by the front. Post office and general store is what we need today. Okay, pumped up the tires, put on the high vis, turned on the flashing light. Good morning, sheep. Okay, here we are at Staverley. Stopped at the cafe right off the road. Got some tea, and I'm right off of the inland scenic route. I got an apple ginger muffin, which I've never had before. Never had a cheese scone either. Okay, just got over the climb. The headwind is ridiculous. Viewpoint on the drop down. It's so windy, man. It's so sketchy going downhill. So I wish I could have showed you some of the gorge, but the descent was, I had to really concentrate. But this is just after the gorge. Okay, there goes Rakaia Gorge. Just did this climb, although there's a lot of hidden turns on this climb. I'm doing pretty good now though. It's telling me to turn on the rockwood, which looks to become gravel. Oh my goodness, that was so amazing that descent. I don't know if I had a tailwind. Although this stuff's pretty good so far. Dunsandale Road, and it's gotten so flat. It's just like really, really flat farmland. I don't know if I've mentioned it, I do have a river crossing again. And I just checked with the Garmin and it gets dark at 6:15. Man, that's early. The whole clock change thing, and then I'm going north. I think I'm in the river now. This looks like a riverbed. There's no signs about a fjord. Usually there would be a sign saying, you know, river crossing ahead, 4-wheel drive only. That was my biggest concern of the day. Brookside Park. Less than 3 kilometers to the end of the thing. Let's see if these are open. Looking forward to the hotel. Hopefully wash the bike down. It's a good time. It's like, get there like 4:30. That's early enough to settle in a little bit. Lincoln, one thing to know, you don't actually go through Lincoln on the route. Okay, good morning from Lincoln. Stayed at the famous Grouse Hotel. There's the weather they're talking about. You can see the rain. Shared path. There's signs that are posted for rail trail. Oh, there's a Fresh Choice there, just before you get to Springs Road. It's telling me to go, oh, we're in Prembleton. Look at this, we're in Pemberton and we're actually on a rail trail. Just make sure you pay attention when you get near that circle with Highway 75, there's a little bit of choices to make. So you want to just follow the signs for the city center.
In the public library waiting for the rain to stop in Christchurch. Went to Chill Explore and they recommended the library, and there's a cafe here. And I'm having a late breakfast or second breakfast.
It's 12:30 Tuesday. I think I've been here about an hour and a half at the library. Went to the bike shop to ask them about the library because my phone was being intermittent with the internet. I hope it's fixed. It seems to be working now, but I don't know what happened. I have plenty of data left, but it just wasn't working. And man, without internet, without, you know, Google Maps and all that, I mean, I have it on my computer, but everything else, you know, supermarkets and stuff would really be a problem. And I believe I'm right on the route, actually. So if you need to stop and do some Wi-Fi, oh, look at that, they even cleaned the bike lanes. And I'm on this path that parallels the highway. It's almost like a bicycle freeway. Don't want to fall when it's frosty. Look at this, a cemetery on the bike path. I'm just about at the end of the route, going to load the next map. It's been cycle away all the way. Okay, it's saying to continue straight if I want to go to the town center. So I'm on my way to whatever it's called, I'm sorry. Can't even think of the name, it begins with an R. Seems to be the place when you want to buy a car. I think there's a toilet up here. Hopefully a cafe or something. I'm gonna book a place. This is really some of the most urban riding I've done on the trip. Path becomes a separated gravel path on the other side, right where that turnoff at River Road for the campground is. So on these really nice country roads, seem to be smaller farms, some cows. Never really get away from the cows. Beautiful horsies. Kind of reminds me of Vermont a little bit. Turn here, Western Terrace Road. Okay, turning onto Terrace Road. Looks like it's gravel. Looks like a driveway more than a road. What's it called? Heartland Ride. Well, here's the river crossing, I guess they were talking about. My advice is once you get to the river, stay on that side because it looks like there's a path up there. This is like four-wheel drive track. Go through the cattle chute. It says there's a Woolworths here. Big fan of Woolworths. And it looks like there's a gravel path that parallels the highway because it looks pretty sketchy out there. Okay, I'm in the middle of Amberley and I just passed the campground on my left and it's across from the Woolworths. Under my fish and chips. Just past a burger joint on the way into town. So here I am in Amberley at the Delhaven Hotel, cabins, you know, / campground. My tent. Bike got in around 6 o'clock. That includes going to the Woolworths across the road, literally. You can see the Woolworths parking lot right there. Just got my breakfast stuff for tomorrow. Just wanted to say that it was really ended up being a good day, you know, even with the rain, just because of the tailwind. Rural area. I did want to mention that Amberley, which I really didn't look at much. Looks like it's pretty, has a lot of services. Slight headwind, not too bad so far. I was blessed with An incredible tailwind the last 2 days, so can't complain too much. Just past the sculpture park. This is really nice looking. Just finished that climb. That's the first peak. Whoa, look at that view. Wow. Wow, I've done this descent now. It's like totally different. So just transitioned from Ram something road to McDonald's Downs Road. Wow. I guess I'm going down to that. Really nice gravel. Really flattened out and pulverized. And here's all these plaques that Edna was talking about with the trees and the residents who died during the wars. Okay, I'm in Culverden, about 15.5 kilometers from Hurunui, and about 51 miles into the ride and a half. There's a Foursquare here. I stopped here because I don't know if there's one in town. There's one in Culverden for sure, but there's not one coming up, so I wanted to stop here. Huh, the Hungarian horse track, established 1974, I think it said. That's a shame. So I made it to the hotel, and it is indeed out of business, closed. There's this little Hungarian food truck here, which is kind of nice. I wasn't going to stop, but it sounds pretty good. I mean, I wasn't going to get anything to eat here because it sounded pretty good. It's just got my Hungarian dish. I don't think I'm going to be eating dinner tonight. Outside the hotel, I asked them. They're not really here every day. That was an awesome stop with that food truck there. Had a huge Hungarian potato with meat and salad. I am stuffed. Not usually what I do when I have to ride the bike. Belmora Reserve. We're going to turn here. We're not going to stop, but that's an option if you want to camp now that the hotel's closed. It looks like a pretty nice campground. Culverden, right next to the Foursquare there, and I ended up deciding to stay at the Culverden Hotel and Cafe. The reason being, I went to the domain and it looked a little run down. There was some, looked like there were some permanent residents there, and then that was required a key fob to like charge it with money and log in and create new accounts is another thing to lose and get complicated. I've got 37K on this highway. The guides does say to do this ride early to beat the traffic. Just stopping. Along the busy highway to take in the view. I think I'll be there by 11:15. Just hang out for a little bit. Wow. That's a gorge. Climbing. Oh. Transistor and a large sum of money to spend. I will not miss this highway. Here we are in Hanmer Springs. Just had brunch at the Fire and Ice Cafe. Okay, I'm pulling an audible. Was in town, went to the Foursquare. Met a nice gentleman, Grum, and he was telling me that Jolly's is pretty rough and that Jack's would be a more pleasant experience. when I get to the top, I'll have a decision to make, because he was also saying that the rainbow route is pretty cool. I am there. There's the T. That would take me on Rainbow, I believe, but I'm going to go this way and go down the Molesworth, and there's the campsite for tonight, I believe. It's the Rainbow route he was talking about, Top House, which I'm not going to take just because I don't like not knowing what's in front of me without having researched it. Wow, what a view. I am taking it easy because I've got so much weight on the front. Got to eat some of this food. Got food for 3 days. Molesworth Station. All right, so there's no camping from here forward, I believe. All right, I think this is the T he was talking about. So if I go that way, Top House Road, that takes me to Rainbow Route, or the Molesworth Road via Jolly's Pass. Stunning scenery. Says I got 5K before I get to Jolly Pass Road. Jolly's Pass Road, so I would have come out that way. 5K then, because I think the word split, it's at 17, so I'm at 5K. Okay, about 10K from the hut. This glorious descent. It looks like the gates are going to start again. Okay, there it is, I believe. I'm going to take this road over. Oh, fuck. That was weird. Awesome. So there's the historic building there in the Molesworth, and over here is the ranger, Phil, I believe he said his name was. There's some people camping down there in a camper. I was asking him about the rainbow and he said it's stunning, so maybe that is an option for you. I think I'm going to camp up here. It's $10. There's actually internet here, cell service I should say. Information board where you put your money, and there's the manual form there, which I'll do with I assume there's a pen in there. $10. Oh, this is what he was saying. He was saying if you want to camp back here in these trees here, it's kind of secluded. Oh man, I got a table. Ooh, this looks like this might be my spot here. I just gotta watch the cow pies. Oh, this is nice. Good morning from the Acheron campsite. There's my breakfast table over there. Very much enjoyed the picnic table. Seem to be rare at the campsites here. Like in the States, you usually get a table with your campsite, but heard some noise this morning around 3:30, and lo and behold, there's a event coming through. I was like, what is that at 3:30? I heard the generator kick on and all that, and there's all these bikes here. So did they arrive on bikes?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had our first team come in this morning at about
3:30.
It was just about, maybe a little bit before that.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Tactic.
Oh, so they've ridden their bikes from...
Ridden from Hanmer. They've come here. We've carted over all their pack rafts and their kit bags. So they've picked them up here.
And then they go in the river down there.
And about 8 o'clock, people will start turning up to pick these bikes up, and they'll ferry the bikes to another checkpoint where they're available for the next bike leg. So
And what's it called again?
it's called the Kaikoura Adventure Race. So it's run with a bunch of volunteers, you know, that like the fact that the money goes back into the local community.
Yeah, for sure.
fundamentally, 90% of it gets put into the Kaikoura High School. So these guys are the only people that have decided to wait till daylight because you're not allowed to raft at night.
And we're just starting to climb into the sun. Nice and warm. That's the Rangers residence, I guess. Take care. Thank you. Just thought I'd stop and look at the river, and that cow down there, he was just in the water, and like his buddies there waiting for him. Just pedaling along, just started my day. It's a little after 9. Oh, Guide River. Not sure if this is Molesworth Station. Just some information about the early settlers in the land, especially about the early settlers. Rachel. And there's the view, and there's where I'm going. Still have about 30 kilometers, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm here at this shelter here, which is cool. Just met a nice Scottish fella, Mark, sort of sharing intel. I'm gonna take the road there, and I got a nice descent into the valley. And I assume where the road is going there is gonna be Ward's Pass that I've got to climb. Can't be as bad as yesterday, but it's not gonna be easy. I may be pushing the bike. No more washboards. So this is called Isolated Flats. It's pretty isolated. Acheron River, right before the climb. Oh goodness. So there's the climb. Ward's Pass. See that car? Today's lunch spot before the climb. Look at that, I can see a cow up there. Oh, that's a car coming down. So I'm up there by those power lines. I don't know if you can see this, so I gotta get over. I just pedaled through that. And now I'm climbing out of it. Acheron Valley, I believe it's called. And now I've got this really, really steep grade. I'm probably gonna be walking part of it over a pass, Ward's Pass. There's the beast. Made it to the top. Ward's Pass. In reverse. Here goes the view. Man, look at that downhill. Man, lucky I got brakes. Beautiful day. I didn't go too fast down the hill. It was too some washboardy, and the bike's so front heavy. You know, who knows when you're going to hit a divot or a washboard. I think I see the campsites behind those trees in the distance. Whoa! Ah, wow, gotta watch that gravel, man. You hit it too hard going fast, you'll slide right out. Okay, made it to the cottage. Sun's still up, so that's good. Guess I can kind of camp anywhere. Looks like the picnic tables are taken. Here's the actual cottage. There's the Rangers accommodations. I'd have a table, which would be very important, which I really like. Looking down at the cottage. Friday night. Met a young girl from Vancouver. She rode from Hanmer Springs today. Wow, to here. I did that in, what, a day and a half. And here's the Cobb Cottage, 1866, I think. And then there's a big camping area here. There's some people here. Just going into the Molesworth, I guess. These are pretty cool looking mountains. ever since the campsite, the road's been much better. This is stunning. This is very different than anything I've seen so far, with the, you know, rolling hills and mountains mixed in. And, you know, being a beautiful day doesn't hurt. Looks like I'm going someplace I don't want to go, in Lord of the Rings maybe. Landscape's changed a little bit, getting more rocky with these juts of rock sticking out, as you can see. Just crossing the Castle River right before the second to last climb, I think, or one of the climbs, one of the bigger ones. Made it to the top, epic view. Starting to descent from Upcut. This is like one of my favorite parts. Except for the dust. Made it to Hodder River, the end point on that particular route. And it's just a car park with a toilet down here. And there's a suspension bridge I'm going to go over, continue. And there's the river down there. And over the bridge. There's the Camden Cook Shop. We're going to go ahead and push on. High country accommodation. Quite a few hills that aren't not showing up on my Garmin, that I would consider them climbs in the Climb Pro part. It's been a little bit tougher than I thought. I'm about 3 kilometers from the shearer's accommodation, hopefully. So here we are at the Waparari, I know I'm mispronouncing that, accommodations. And it's 60k exactly from the end of the route in the Blenheim. And I'm staying here. I'm about to go over my bike in a little bit, but I wanted to show you the quarters. Really nice. You can pitch a tent for 15 or 40 at the time of this recording for a bed in the room. This was perfect. I only rode like 60k today from Molesworth campsite. I'm going north on the Sound the Sounds. And yeah, this works out good. There's a shower in the next building over. There's a toilet somewhere, I still have to find it. So there's a bunk there, and a really pleasant couple runs it. A little fireplace here if you want to start a fire. And she had cold drinks and even beer. Yeah. Going through these farms. There's the hill. I wonder if it's paved. Okay, made it to the top. That was quite manageable because it was spread out. Going to do the descent, which seems to be a matching descent. Gotta watch these flying corners. Very nice. Okay, here we go. Here's Blarick Reserve Responsible Camping. Self-contained vehicles only, but there's an exception for cyclists using Oturahua Valley Road, which would be us. So yeah, and I'm at 32 kilometers from Blenheim. Yeah, this is nice. Actually, I don't know where the toilet is, but man, you can camp here. Oh, there's the toilet there. So yeah, this is definitely an option. Yeah, there's running water here. Look at this. Oh, we just turned to gravel after that short introductory climb. I think I'm on Taylor Pass Road. Just completed Taylor Pass, and I pulled over to have an apple and some peanut butter and some Pringles I bought at Warpy station last night. The Pringles, that is. I had the apple and peanut butter. Wow, this is all the logging they're doing. Dang. Wow, that's some clear cut. Wow. Surprising how dry it is on this side. Almost looks, other than these pine trees, kind of looks like California, southern or central California. Pavement. Okay, it's telling me to turn here. I just passed Taylor Dam Road. Really? You want me to go down this? Oh shit. Oh, can you go up this hill? Yes, you can. I think there's a better way to do this than what I'm doing. Just on this 2-track, about 8K left. One of many gate closings on this whole trip. So I think I made an error. I think when I came to that gate, I was supposed to cross the creek or river on my left and be on the other side of it. But I think it's going to meet. It's actually quite not what I was expecting. Quite a long bicycle infrastructure walking through the park. And just leaving Picton about 2 o'clock. 28K to go. I think it's all highway till they get the whale trail built or finished. Just past Fat Tony's. I haven't gone that far. Cycle trail, the Spring Creek 1.3. The whale trail's done, or part of the whale trail's open, that would be awesome. They said mid 2025. Just leaving my favorite store, Foursquare. Got to get back on Highway 1 for a little bit. Probably for a lot, but I think there's a section of the whale trail I can get on. Psychologically, it's weird. It feels like the ride is over. Just kind of stretching this week out so I can make my flight on Saturday. Looks like it separates it 7 kilometers. We go under the bridge here. Just stopping here for a late lunch on the whale trail. I don't know if this is the newest section. It looks pretty nice. It's been landscaped and signage is good, separated from the road. Although I think I'm going to go back up onto the road momentarily. Whale trail, single track, awesome. So here's where the trail stops, going north. There's a bridge there. It says don't be the person that ruins it. Okay, that sucked. Beautiful ride, but it'd be nice if they put some signage up saying that it was closed ahead. So if you get to Bush Road, until it's officially open, don't continue. Kind of interesting landscape. It's like they're in the marsh and they're dead. All right, this could be a huge mistake, but I'm trying it again. I saw an entrance for the whale trail, and I've gone around or climbed because I'm next to a railroad track, which makes sense. That would go around because they can't do the climb. This is awesome. There's Route 1 that I would have had to do a climb on and be in that traffic. Working on some signage. There you go. Whale trail only. Okay, made it to Picton, 2.5 hours. So glad I was able to ride part of that whale tail track. Now I'm going to go to the ferry line and purchase my ticket for tomorrow. And this is my last official day of riding. I'm going to do this Queen Charlotte Trail, or at least part of it. Decided to move it up today, one day because of the had the day to spare, but also it's supposed to be rainy tomorrow, more chance of rain tomorrow. So had 4 days of really gorgeous weather, and then today looks, as long as it doesn't rain, I'll be good. And I need to be back in town before it gets dark, hopefully. I took Cougar Line. It's $10 extra for the bike, $100 even, New Zealand. One-way trip to Ship Cove, 8 a.m. departure.
If you have any questions during the trip, please don't hesitate to ask either of us. And the weather report today is windy. Looking not too bad here. It might get up to 20 or 30 up there, so we're going to get pretty rock and rolly.
Okay, here we are. Ship's Cove, just made it. Gotta push the bike off the dock. Went to the loo. Here goes the cook monument. And there's a bunch of information plaques or pictographs on the other side. Okay, just starting Queen Charlotte. And hits you with a climb right away. This is certainly different than anything I've ridden on so far. And it's awesome to do it on an unloaded bike. Kind of a horn.
That's the way to go. You're making me jealous.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Oh, well, you too. There's the top of the first climb. Now the downhill. Oh my goodness, this is rocky. And I'm coming down here and this is really, really rocky. Just, and I didn't bring my tire boot. I forgot about that. I left it in the main bag. I don't have any nuts and bolts either, so. Coming down. Just means there's another climb. Here we are at Schoolhouse Bay campsite. And it's about 5 kilometers exactly from the start for me. Another gate, second one. Oh boy, this section's really nice between the gates. Really smooth so far. It's after the second gate. I am getting concerned about time. It's almost 12 o'clock. And I think I've only gone 9 kilometers. Oh, residential area here. Okay, just past the sign for the lodge. I guess that's the eco camp there with the little canvas things there. There's a name for them. Queen Charlotte Eco Camp. I think that's where you can glamp. Nice little section. I think I'm less than 5 kilometers from the saddle. Big Bay campsite. This is friggin' ridiculous. This is just a rock garden. What's the point of this? So I made a sharp right turn at a sign that said 2.5 straight, or you make it right, it's 1.5. The single track is a little rooty, but so much better than the rocks. Okay, I'm on the first section of road. I think it's only 18K. Still on my way to Portage. Just finished the second of 2 climbs. Portage. My road section. Is there a toilet? Like I said, I'm doing a little audible here. I want to continue on to the next saddle. Just saw a sign that said 58K to Picton, but I'm not staying on the road. I think the road follows the coast. I'm cutting across the top, I believe. Just some of the view that I'm going by. Okay, here we go. Camping and accommodations, Mistletoe Bay, Queen Charlotte. Just started a 3 kilometer, 95 meter climb. A little boardwalk here. But this section of the trail is so much better than the other one. Grove Arm Viewpoint. And it's gotten quite chunky again since that viewpoint. So I just made it to Bannockburn, and it's sunset, 5:55. So that's about it. I arrived at Bannockburn at about 6 o'clock dusk, and then I rode on the road for about 2.5 miles until I got to Queen Charlotte Drive. That was about 12 miles back in the town. I think I got back in the town about 7 p.m. and that was pretty much, it was totally dark when I did that ride. Wasn't too much traffic. I did have a headlight, not sure if I had a tail light. I did see the LifeLink trail running parallel to the road while I was riding, but for obvious reasons I didn't take it. I wasn't sure whether it was going to be contiguous, and it was dark and I didn't want to get lost at that point, and I just stuck to the road. For approximately the last third or 20% of the ride, I slowed down quite a bit. If you look at my numbers, Because of all the mechanical problems I was having and the 2 extra rain days I took in Greymouth, I thought I was going to have to end the trip in Christchurch. Once I found out the weather was going to be really good for the Molesworth, I decided to push my flight back from Monday to Saturday. When I did that, that allowed me to have pretty leisurely days from Christchurch into Picton. There was no sense in riding big long days and then getting to a hotel in Wellington and just be sitting there for a day or two. I did it in 18 days, and I think because of the shorter days that I took, 18 days is a pretty good timetable to be able to do this ride. Since I didn't include the part from Milford Sound to Mossburn in my trip, I didn't take any rest days on the Sound of Sounds. I did take several near zero days or half days. One important thing to keep in mind is you should always check that the airport that you're going to has a box for your bike. When I got into Wellington, I had an extra day, so I did a test ride to the airport because my plan was to ride my bike to the airport, buy a box, and then pack the bike there. When I got to the airport after doing the test ride, Air New Zealand informed me that they had no more bike boxes and they had sold out earlier in the day. Luckily, I was able to go to a bike store and secure a bike box. Then the next day, I took the airport bus from the city center. The airport bus was only about a block and a half away from the hostel I was staying at.